This is case file 1002 on Ana Garcia. So Ana Garcia is 20 years old, and she is an undergraduate college student working part-time in a research lab called the Denture Life Science Building. So the background is that Ana Garcia's body was found lifeless around 10:10 a.m. in that exact building. And our claim is that Ana Garcia was killed by Eric Piedmont. She was hit in the back of the head, causing the initial blood spatter on the floor. Here is the timeline, which I will give you a moment to read. So as you could see, Anna pretty much led a normal life, except around 12 a.m., in which Anna went to get lunch with her boyfriend. In this instance, Anna got into a big fight with him, which will further be discussed in the presentation. So these are our statements from the persons of interest. So our analysis is that Taylor, Sam, and Eric were 3 out of the 5 suspects that showed deception during the polygraph test. This was indicated by the abnormalities in their heart and respiratory rate on the graph. So as you could see, Taylor showed abnormalities in the polygraph as his heart rate was shown to decrease and then increase drastically, which indicates that Taylor may have been lying at this moment. For Sam, her sudden increase in heart rate by 5 bpm lead our suspicions to her, as these results show deception in her response. And Eric Piedmont, after giving his response in the polygraph, there was a detection of an increase in his respiratory rate, which went over his average. Also, his heart rate, despite being constant, was reaching close to 80 bpm, which was unusual from his previous test. Now to our non-suspects. This included Dr. Elsie Opel and Dominique, and this was because we didn't find any abnormalities, leading us to believe they were our main suspects. So as you could see with Dominique, there was no drastic increases or decreases in her respiratory rate, and they're fairly similar, if not consistent, with the control questions from before. And for Dr. Elise Opel, you could see that her heart rate did not increase drastically, and it did fall a little bit above average from her normal BPM. As for her respiratory rate, it does drop slightly, but we don't see any drastic increases following that. So far, our suspicions are garnered toward Eric Piedmont due to the following evidence that will be supported further. So as you can see in the fingerprints, there are distinct features that are found on the fingers that could help us identify fingerprints from forensic investigation. The fingerprints above all match to the suspects we have gathered dealing with the murder of Ana Garcia. Moving on to our print analysis. So as you could see, there's a partial fingerprint at the scene that belongs to Ana Garcia. This is because both of the fingers have identical loops, as you could see right here. And as you could see in this fingerprint found at the scene on a handwritten note, the distinct whorls on the finger, which are similar to the ones found at Eric Piedmont, led us to believe that this fingerprint belongs to Eric Piedmont. So these results further support our claim that Eric is guilty, as there was fingerprints left behind of him at the crime scene.
Examples. Examining the persons of interest hair along with Anna and the hair found at the scene, we see the similarities or differences between everyone's hair. Analysis. The image on the bottom left shows hair strands of Eric Piedmont. To the right, we see the hair found at the scene. Both are very similar because they are consistent in color and lack medulla. They are also the same thickness. After examining both, we see that the hair found at the scene belongs to Eric, which supports our claim that he killed her because his hair was found at the scene. Who Anna interacted with the day of her death, we checked her social media stories, streams, text messages, and emails. Analysis. From Anna's social media stories, streams, text messages, and emails, we see that she interacted with Dominique Call, Sam Green, Dr. Elsie Opel, Eric Piedmont, and Taylor Diaz. From her text messages, we see that Eric Piedmont and her got into an identification. They support their claim that Eric Piedmont killed her because it gives him a motivation to kill her.
A red substance was found on the floor, table, and a gauze attached to Garcia's arm. To confirm or deny that this substance was in fact blood, we performed a presumptive blood test on the substance itself. The result of this is that most of the red substance found at the crime scene was in fact the blood. As you can see from the left versus the right one came out as pink, meaning that a reaction happened, and another had no reaction to the solution, making it clear. Like I said before, the negative test, which is on the left, came out as clear as it had no reaction, while the positive on the right did have a reaction. Since we can confirm that the red substance found at the crime scene, we need to now confirm the blood type of it and if it could be connected to any known persons of interest. To do this, we did an ABO typing test. The results of the blood found at the crime scene were type B blood, and this connected it to two people of interest who shared the exact same blood type as found, which are Eric Piedmont and Dominique Hall. As you can see from the two photos, Dominique Hall, Eric Piedmont, and Ana Garcia all tested for type B during the blood test, which makes the match up with the blood found at the scene. Now, this supports the claim that Eric Piedmont could definitely be a prime suspect to this case, as his blood also matches the blood found at the crime scene, which can indicate that maybe he was there.
This is case file 1002 for Ana Garcia, the blood splatter. We found the blood splatter on the table and the floor. We made tests on where the blood comes from and at which height it comes. We had a lab to see where the blood fell and what height it fell from to see which person is the one who dropped the blood and found out why they were bleeding. The blood analysis we did for Ana Garcia was to see from which height and who blood was belonged to. From the result, we compared to match the splatter from the crime scene, and this is the crime scene result we did. DNA evidence. We found the DNA evidence through the DNA sample of the person of interest. We did a gel electrolysis lab and analyzed the DNA evidence and found most everything was matched with Eric Piedmont, following us to conclude that Eric Piedmont's evidence was the one that found at the crime scene, and this is the result. And that will be it. Thank you.
So with all the evidence we have gathered, we have concluded that Eric Piedmont is the one who had murdered Ana, and we would like to place an arrest warrant for him.